elections will hold in all states of the Federation. Diversification of Nigeria's economy identified as solution to dwindling oil revenue. Plus, federal government updates national water supply and sanitation database. Hello, it's my pleasure to welcome you to NTA International News this hour. I'm Nancy Godi Angonihu. We begin with latest political developments in Nigeria. The National Convention of the People's Democratic Party has ratified the choice of President Goodluck Jonathan as the party's presidential candidate in the 2015 elections. President Jonathan, on his part, retains Vice President Muhammad Namadi Sambo as his running mate, as he assures Nigerians that elections will be held in all states of the Federation, including the Northeast Zone. State House correspondent reports.
Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, having scored far in excess of 2/3 requirements of the yes votes, stands elected, in fact, nominated as our presidential candidate.
That was Senator Ken Nnamani, Chairman, Electoral Committee for the PDP National Convention, which ratified the choice of President Jonathan as the PDP Presidential flag bearer for the 2015 elections. The election, which was conducted in line with the party's constitution and the country's electoral guidelines, saw the president in a yes vote poll 2,812 votes to pick the ticket. President Jonathan expressed appreciation to delegates and the party hierarchy as he reassured Nigerians of better times, while urging party members to remain united and focused.
I stand before you as your humble servant to accept your nomination as the presidential candidate of our great party, the PDP. Having placed great faith in me and choosing me as your candidate, I assure you that I am truly honored tonight to lead another electoral contest. This will be a campaign and an election that will serve to consolidate our successes. I'll give my all. I will not let you down. I will not fail the PDP. I will not fail you. Above all, I promise I will not fail our great nation, Nigeria.
As President Jonathan reaffirmed his administration's commitment to defeating terrorism and insurgency, his administration, he noted, will remain focused, calling on Nigerians to remain vigilant and cooperate with government in the fight against terror.
I assure all Nigerians that this government will continue to do whatever is required to provide the security we deserve. It is encouraging that the security situation is improving a little, and by the grace of God, elections will be conducted in all states of the Federation.
He also used the special convention to declare his campaign for the 2015 presidential election.
I seize the opportunity of this occasion to formally announce that as we commence the campaign for the 2015 presidential election, Architect Muhammad Namadi Sambo, a loyal and tested partner, a dependable, trustworthy gentleman, and a true patriot, will be my running mate.
The convention had earlier ratified the appointment of the national chairman, the national secretary, and the national auditor through the ballots. Over 3,000 delegates participated in the national convention. From Eagle Square, Abuja, Segun Lawale, NTA News.
In the same vein, our former head of state, Muhammadu Buhari, has emerged the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, APC. He defeated other aspirants to win the ticket by polling 3,430 out of 7,214 total votes. Atiku Abubakar, 954 votes, Governor Rochas Okorocha, 624 votes, and Sam Nda Isaiah got 10 votes.
The outcome of the presidential primaries of the All Progressive Congress is a demonstration of democracy at work. It is testimony to the fact that democracy as a concept is greater than the interests of individuals in a free and functional political system. What has just happened is not about winning or losing, but about the triumph of liberty, freedom of choice and association, which are the hallmarks of democracy.
What I want to assure you is that all of us here and those that are not here are committed to working with you and supporting with you to ensure that you bring about the victory that this country and change the people of this country desire so much.
Also, Dr. Mani Ibrahim Ahmad has emerged as the presidential candidate of the African Democratic Congress, ADC. Value system, reorientation, education and security are areas of his top priority. Adebola Brookslyn Sunday covered the party's national convention.
Dr. Mani Ibrahim Ahmad promised to tackle
education. I want to look at the economy by strongly looking at the interest rates as well as the exchange rate, to improve the infrastructure and then to create direct employment for our young people, to develop our ICT capacity. I want to do it with a carrot and stick approach.
National chairman of the party, Raf Okemwosu, urged all Nigerians with political ambition to join the party as nomination forms into state houses of assembly and for physically challenged and women are free of charge.
With the kind of politics we are playing now, we don't expect them to be able to play in it. We don't want money bags.
For the people to understand what it means to govern them, not to enslave them.
It just has went through a lot of political, religious crises. So my main priority is to make sure that people live in harmony.
Governance, there are a lot of things, but there are things that we have to change for the better. That's when you look at the education, that's what we are all after in ADC.
African Democratic Congress is a party that has chosen to operate from the bottom of the pyramid.
The consensus reached, they say, is a clear indication that ordinary citizens with political enthusiasm are unrestrained. In Abuja, Adebola Brookslyn Sunday, NTA News.
And still on party primaries, a former Oyo State Governor Adebayo Alao Akala has clinched the gubernatorial ticket of the Labour Party. He was elected at the party's primaries in Ibadan, Oyo State. Correspondent Dabo Daramola has the details.
Aspirants, including the former governor, Otumba Adebayo Alao Akala, showed interest in the Labour Party's gubernatorial primaries at the Olubadan Stadium in Yangaku, Ibadan. 5 of them, however, stepped down voluntarily and paved the way for the emergence of Otumba Alao Akala through affirmative vote. The Labour Party candidate pledged to offer what he described as purposeful, caring and responsive government.
By the grace of God, I will use my experience to make a better living for our people in Oyo State.
The chairman of the Labour Party in Oyo State and other party members expressed optimism that the party would develop the state and our people if voted into office.
We are doing affirmation. We've done consultation among the aspirants in various offices, and they've all agreed on candidates that were represented.
All we are concerned about is governing with a human face.
You know, God has already prepared the ground for Akala.
It will be remembered that the former governor, Otumba Alao Akala, switched over to Labour Party following what he described as injustice in his former party. In Ibadan, Dabo Daramola, NTA News.
Meanwhile, reactions have continued to trail the violence which characterized the conduct of some political parties' primaries nationwide. In his reaction, the National Secretary of the Labour Party, Mr. Kayode Ajulo, wants security operatives to take appropriate measures on any violence perpetrator during political activities. Kemi Fakeye reports.
Political activities in Nigeria are usually characterized by all forms of violence, like in any developing democracies in the world. Mr. Ajulo said though miscreants hide other political activities to perpetrate evil, people should be held responsible for their actions.
This is a season of politicking. This is a season you'll be seeing different things, different permutation, different conspiracy and go. I believe our policemen, our law enforcement agency must be at alert and must hold one thing, that the law must take its course at all times, even if everyone must fall. And I must add that even if everyone must fall, we must have men and women that should be able to hold that heaven from not falling.
He commended INEC for its activities in preparation for 2015 elections, adding that Nigeria is desirous of getting it right this time.
Being a referee to usher in new dispensation, and I believe we're expecting so much from INEC that whatever they are doing now, nobody is ready to give them a pass back until when we get to where we are going. My expectation from INEC is to have a credible election. My expectation for INEC is to have an election that we can stand in Committee of Nations all over the world to say for the first time in Nigeria we have an election where where people can praise us that look, we are getting it right.
Mr. Ajulo said so far the Labour Party has held peaceful primaries in 12 states of the Federation to choose its standard bearers. In Abuja, Kemi Fakeye, NTA News.
From politics, we go to gender matters. The need to empower Nigerian women to enable them to participate effectively in economic development has been brought to the fore by the National Center for Women Development and Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA. Correspondent Obiageli Ugoke reports that the workshop is the Phase 2 of the JICA project on activation of women development centers, which will terminate in 2015.
In Nigeria, women's empowerment is crucial to mitigate poverty at grassroots, since women play an essential role within the household as well as community. But these are not fully realized because of various limitations. Sequel to these situations, National Center for Women Development, in collaboration with Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, decided to launch a manual for activation of women development centers in Nigeria.
All the structures are there. So we look at the management, we build the capacities of the management to be able to manage and run the centers, and then we skill up the instructors of the centers so that whatever vocational skill training that is taking place there, their skills have been brought up to meet with what is obtainable now.
Our project is a technical cooperation project, so we are doing capacity development. We are supporting this National Center of Women Development officers to improve their capacity to activate women development centers.
JICA has extended the activation to 6 states of Anambra, Cross River, Kaduna, Kano, Kwara, and Niger, where 3 women development centers were activated in each of the states. The project is expected to reactivate as many development centers as possible if properly utilized. In Abuja, Obiageli Ugoke, NTA News.
You're watching news on NTA International, reaching you from Abuja, Nigeria's capital. A recap of our headlines. As President Jonathan picked PDP ticket, he said 2015 elections will hold in all states of the Federation. Of Nigeria's economy has been identified as solution to the dwindling oil revenue. Plus, federal government updates national water supply and sanitation database. Details after the break.
The
FRCN, NTA and VON annual service of 9 lessons and Christmas carols is here again.
The program, which started over 10 years ago in Abuja as a local carol night, has grown into a national affair.
It's an exhibition of classical and Nigerian Christmas songs and carols,
featuring spirit-lifting renditions and inspiring messages in celebration of the living Christ.
Celebrated groups like the Lars Ekweme Choral Group will be there.
Theme, celebrating the Prince of Peace.
Venue, National Christian Center, Abuja.
Date, Sunday, 14th December 2014.
Time, 3 p.m.
Message giver, Senior Pastor, Dunamis International Gospel Center, Dr. Paul Enenche.
For sponsorship details, call 0803-303-7678.
0803-704-3300.
Or 0802-722-2869.
Coming live on Radio Nigeria, NTA and Voice of Nigeria, Sunday, December 14, 2014.
The FRCN, NTA and VON annual service of 9 lessons and Christmas carols.
Making Christmas memorable for you.
You are watching NTA, Nigerian Television Authority. For more information and news updates, visit our website at www.nta.ng, or you can follow us on Twitter at NTA News Now, or you can like us on Facebook at NTA Network News. Stay connected on our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/NTA News Online. Watch our live stream at www.nta.ng/live. NTA, you can't beat the rich.
NTA International News.
Thank you for being there. A report just reaching us says a twin bomb blast occurred this evening at the Jos terminus in Plateau State. Details will be brought to you in our subsequent bulletins. Now, the current security challenges in the northeastern part of Nigeria have led to the displacement of over 800,000 people, majority of whom are farming communities, thereby threatening food security of the country. However, the government and agriculturists are of the view that the country remains food secure as more food was produced during the 2014 wet season farming. Musa Baba Aliyu has more.
Even though states in the northeastern part of Nigeria fall on Sahel savanna with low rainfall of less than 700 millimeters and long period of dry season, the region remains among the major contributor to the National Food Program. Apart from livestock and fisheries, crops such as cowpea, sorghum, maize and millet are produced in abundance in the region. The security challenges occasioned by insurgency did not only chase the farmers out of their farms, but also force them to leave their communities.
When there is an insurgency, the people who are living in their community have been uprooted and moved away from their places. So even if they planted their maize, cassava, and all their farm crops, they cannot come back there to harvest them. And they could not manage the farms to produce optimum what they are expecting.
Even at that, agriculturalists say the bumper harvest recorded in other parts of the country is capable of cushioning the effects of the challenges.
There are like other areas which are not directly affected by this kind of displacements are continuing to produce their crops.
Have a bumper harvest due to the extension of the rainfall and the improved seed now received by farmers. So I don't foresee any food scarcity.
A record from the Nigeria Commodity Exchange show that there is high cost of food items in troubled states of Yobe, Adamawa, Borno and Gombe states, when compared to other states in the country.
They have outlets for the commodities that they produce. But who is going to go up there now to go and collect those commodities? And even the transporters who take them outside, it's a bit difficult for them too.
Crops such as maize, sorghum, cowpea and millet double their prices in the northeast in other regions. In Abuja, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
And harnessing Nigeria's vast human and natural resources has been identified as key to increasing the nation's revenue to cushion dwindling fortunes of the oil revenue. Correspondent Amina Nujaim reports that this was the main thrust of the National Revenue and Resource Management Summit held in Abuja. The report.
Research has it that natural, human, financial and material resources of any country in themselves do not determine sustainability of the nation's wealth. The primary ingredient to revenue and resource management remains prudent management of these resources. With the dwindling fortunes from the oil sector, relevant stakeholders have gathered in Abuja to forge a way for human resource development as an alternative potential source of revenue generation.
There is need for us to diversify our economy so that at least we can have other sources of revenue.
Deputy Inspector General of Police Hashimu Argungu further made a case for the untapped potentials of human capital in his paper presentation titled "The Role and Importance of Human Resource Management for National Development in Current Globalization and Computer Era."
The importance of human resources in socio-economic and political activities. Human beings, they are central because they are the ones doing everything.
Participants at the summit say training and retraining is significant for personal development.
We need an attitudinal change. It is not that the laws are not there. Laws are there, but our attitude goes contrary to what the laws are really saying.
Nigeria is blessed with abundant human and natural resources, and it is estimated that Nigeria's population will become the third largest globally in 2015 after India and China, with a population of 450 million people. Harnessing this huge capital can generate revenue for the country. In Abuja, Amina Nujaim, NTA News.
Thank you, Amina Nujaim. More on Nigeria's resources. The 2014 benchmark report on Nigerian Natural Resources Charter has been released with findings that not many changes have taken place in governance of Nigeria's petroleum wealth since 2012. Chiazalam Ekie reports that this was at a briefing in Abuja at the instance of Civil Society Legislative Advocacy Center.
Worried by the uncertainty in the crude oil markets, which has affected most countries, this group of experts drawn from various sectors of the economy are disturbed that since 2012, when the first benchmarking was carried out, no significant change has been made. They say Nigeria can use the crisis of the oil downturn to rebuild the use of public resource.
There's a need to address all the issues in a comprehensive way. It's a chain of economic and political decisions which need to be made in a comprehensive manner.
They identified transparency and accountability, efficient regulation, and passage of the Petroleum Industry Bill as issues that must be addressed.
Findings also indicated what needs to be done in every sector, including the PIB, which is central to everything.
Now, the presidential candidates are emerging. We are going to confront them with the 12 findings we have in this report so that they can explain to Nigerians what they are going to do about these problems that have been identified.
The benchmarking exercise, apart from being an index of information, is to help improve governance of Nigeria's oil and gas sector and also provide key stakeholders with a tool for action. Chiazalam Ekie, NTA News.
Now to water management. The federal government has flagged off the update of existing national water supply and sanitation database under the National Urban Water Reform Project in Abuja. Musbao Dan Wahab reports that the last survey in the sector was done 2007.
Available statistics do not paint a pleasant picture of access to potable water in Nigeria. But efforts are on by government, particularly at the federal level, to bring about a turnaround. Many dams are springing up across the country, and some almost ready for use. But all these achievements might not serve the purpose without adequate statistics on need and supply of water. And being a subcomponent of the Millennium Development Goals MDG's targets, which end in 2015, update of the database again becomes necessary to lay a solid foundation for the Sustainable Development Goals SDGs. Permanent Secretary Stefano Musafu, who represented Water Resources Minister Sarah Chekwe, says further strategy and policy formulation will be based on the survey when collected.
The objective of the survey are to have an up-to-date information on all public water supply and sanitation facilities and ascertain the percentage of population that now have access to improved water supply and adequate sanitation nationwide.
To make all this work, a software called AgriFlow has been developed for data collection. Over 40 potential trainers from 13 consultancy firms have been undergoing training here on how to carry out the assignments.
They are going to use the latest technology. The latest technology that make them to collect the data online, real time, and send it straight to us in Abuja.
The exercise will start with 12 pilot states in January.
And then in February, we are going to come together again to harmonize and to streamline and strengthen the instruments. And by March, they will do the rest of the states. So we hope that by May 2015, all the data will have come to us and we will have the latest database for the entire nation.
In Abuja, Musbal and Wahab, NTA News.
And before we end the news, sports. Grassroots sports development receives a boost with 2014 Brazil coaching certificate course as China intensifies bid to host 2022 Winter Olympics. Kenei Mabodike tells us more on Sports Update.
The National Institute for Sports is working hard to ensure that the development of grassroots sports is sustained through capacity building. This came to the fore at the presentation of testimonials to participants at the just concluded 2014 Basic Coaching Certificate course midweek in Abuja.
We're going to mount another program come next year that will, ensure that we have more coaches at the grassroots level of this country.
68 coaches made up of 63 males and 5 females took part in a 3-month course which handled 4 sports, namely football, basketball, handball and volleyball.
Every young stars that are going to come to me right now, they are going to gain a lot.
Following the conclusion of the group matches in the 2014-2015 UEFA Champions League midweek, surviving teams will know their next opponents when the draw for the last 16 is conducted Monday in Nyon, Switzerland. Manchester City joined the first 14 teams after a 2-0 away victory over Roma in Italy, while Schalke 04 completed the number after defeating Maribor by a lone goal. The Beijing iconic Bird Nest Stadium, which was used for the 2008 Summer Olympics, is now becoming the center stage for freestyle skiing. 2 World Cup events will now take place at the stadium on the 20th and 21st of December. Organizers are hoping it will enhance their bidding for the 2022 Winter Olympics. With Sports Update, Kenei Imabodike, NTA News.
And it is with the Sports Update that we conclude the news. Thank you for watching.